Okay, so now that we have the storekeeping units correctly named, let's go ahead and proceed to implement or a strategy to handle that missing data in the sales column. So first of all, I need to identify what are the row numbers on which we have missing values. So I'm going to go ahead and create a list that I'm going to call sales indices. Okay, so missing sales indices is equal to what? Well, gonna be sales column if it's not a number, okay? And I'm going to use this as a condition to filter all my data frame. And what I want is just the index number, okay? So I'm going to run this, and if I inspect this, it should give me all of the indexes on which I have missing values in the sales code. And indeed, this is what I got. Perfect. Okay, so how many do we have? Well, it should be equivalent to what we have reported in the previous table, 6,541. Indeed, that's exactly the number. And now let's go ahead. For each one of those indexes that have missing value, and we're going to use also TQDM here for a progress bar. So for each one of these indexes with missing values, what do we want to do? Remember that we're going to inspect information that is in the same year, so we need to extract the year. So we're going to go ahead and locate in our data frame a specific index, and we want the year column. Okay, so here we are filtering by the index of the row of missing value and the year column. We also want to get the storekeeping unit name. So we're going to do something very similar, the index and the SKU name. And we also want the quantity, because remember, we're going to use the quantity to calculate the estimated sales. And then we have it. We have the three variables. Okay, now, right. But remember, all of this information is for a row on which sales is missing. What I want to do is to look at other rows on which I don't have missing sales data, but they are on the same year and the same storekeeping unit. So we're going to create a variable called relevant data. And what is going to be this data? Well, it's going to be my data frame, but filtered by what? Well, all of my data frame that we are on the same year, okay? And all of my data frame on which we are on the same storekeeping unit name, okay? And another condition, because I don't want missing data. So all of my data frame on which my sales column, and this has to be in parentheses, on which the sales column is not an A. Okay? Remember, is an A gives you all of the rows that contains missing value, not an A, it's all of the ones that do not contain missing data. Okay, so this is the relevant data. Now, this could be completely empty. I might not be able to find any row that contains this information. But most likely in our case, with so many transaction logs, we're going to be able to find it. So we'll say if this thing is not empty, let's just check this. So if it's not empty, then we're going to estimate the price. So we're going to say price per unit. So this is an estimation. And what is price? Well, I have the amount of sales, my relevant data. And if I divide it by the quantity, I should obtain the price. Okay, so I have this information, but remember, this is going to be for a lot of potential data rows. So what I want to do is for this operation, calculate the mean value. Okay, right. So here I have an estimated price, Now that I have this price, I'm going to go ahead and say, well, in the location in which I have my missing value and in the sales column, I'm going to store what? Well, my sales, estimated sales, which is my price per unit, multiplied by the quantity that I just said. If I am not able to find relevant data, then I am just going to put this zero. Okay, so that's our worst case scenario. If we're not able to do this, okay, we're going to put a zero. And now we are ready to run this code. This might take 1 or 2 minutes. So let's look. Oh, now it's progressing. No errors, good. So this is looking for the relevant data and storing it. Okay, so now the process finished. It took 3 minutes 54 seconds. Well, I told you around 2 minutes. Took a little bit more time, but now all of the missing values have been fixed, and we can make sure of this by just again exploring the amount of missing values that we have. So remember, df is an a. We want to sum all columns. And if we run this now, we have 0 missing values. Okay, great. So now we have dealt with typos in the SKU name and we have dealt with missing values in the sales column. So now we're ready to go ahead and join all of this information with the store location of each one of the wholesalers. And we do that on the next video.